Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Priya Kurian, specialist dermatologist at Ahalya Hospital, Hamdan Street, Abu Dhabi. Today, I'll be speaking about some of the common skin problems people face during summer and how to deal with it. Prickly heat or miliaria is a very common condition seen during hot, humid climates. It's caused by blocked sweat glands due to heat exposure, and it's seen as minute reddish, itchy bumps on the trunk and limbs. Folliculitis or hair follicle infection is yet another condition that's seen in summer. This is due to increased heat exposure and tight clothing. It's seen as reddish spots and even pustules on the trunk and limbs. Fungal infection, especially of the folded areas of the body like axilla, groin, the area between the toes, is also common during summer. It's seen as reddish patches with whitish maceration. So, what do we do to avoid these conditions? Wear light colored, loose fitting, light weighted cotton clothes. Avoid dark colored dresses because this can absorb heat. Exercise outdoor only during the coolest part of the day, and you can do indoor exercise in air conditioned rooms to avoid excessive sweating. Try to do things that can reduce your skin temperature, like taking a cold shower, using cooling fans and air conditioning, etc. Dusting the folded areas of the body with antifungal powders is a good idea. Another problem we encounter during summer is acne breakouts, especially in people who have acne-prone skin. The sweat, along with the oil or sebum in the skin, can clog the pores and cause acne breakouts, which is seen as reddish spots or pustules, etc. on the face. During this period of pandemic, as we wear masks for long duration, this further aggravates the condition because the mask increases the friction and maceration in the areas covered by the mask. So, when you have to wear masks for long duration, try to change your mask every 2 to 3 hours and wear a fresh mask if you feel that the mask is wet or moistened. It's also a good habit to blot your face with some clean tissues or towels to to reduce the sweat on your face, and better use cosmetics that are non-comedogenic. That is, they have a label that it's oil-free or safe on acne-prone skin. So these type of cosmetics are safer to use in patients or persons who have acne-prone skin. And eat lot of vegetables and drink lots of fluids, and avoid food with high glycemic index like rich dairy products and oily fried food to reduce your acne tendency. There are also different types of skin rashes related to sunlight or ultraviolet radiation. Tanning is the brownish or grayish pigmentation that is seen on the exposed areas of the face, neck, and limbs. This is due to increased melanin production following ultraviolet rays stimulation. Photodermatitis is seen as a sunlight allergy that's seen as reddish, itchy rashes on the face, neck, and exposed areas. Photoallergic reactions can also occur. Here, what happens is the sunlight or UV radiation, along with some other factor like some oral medication that the patient is taking, or some topical application, some lotions with some fragrances or some chemicals, both of these factors come together and cause an allergy, resulting in reddish rashes on the exposed areas, and in severe cases may even cause blisters on these areas. In the long run, chronic sun exposure can also cause photoaging, which is seen as wrinkling and sagging skin in the face and neck. Photocarcinogenesis, this is increased occurrence of skin cancers in people who have long duration of sun exposure for many years when compared to the normal people. So, what do we do to protect ourselves from the harmful effects of the ultraviolet radiation? Avoid outdoor activity during the peak hours of sunlight ultraviolet radiation, like 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Use wide brim hats, long sleeve dresses, and sunglasses to cover and protect your body, and also use sunscreens. And a word about sunscreens. Sunscreens are agents that we apply on our skin for protection against the harmful effects of ultraviolet radiation. Sunscreens can be either physical sunscreens or chemical sunscreens. Physical sunscreens act by reflecting or scattering the ultraviolet radiation, whereas chemical sunscreens absorb the ultraviolet radiation. Sun protection factor, or SPF, gives the measure of the amount of protection that a sunscreen provides for our body against ultraviolet radiation. SPF of 15 or above is sufficient for the normal routine use, and for people who have some sunlight allergy or tendency for increased pigmentation from sunlight, can go for a sunscreen with SPF 30 or above. And sunscreens have to be applied like 15 to 20 minutes before sun exposure, and all the exposed areas on the face, on the neck, on the limbs, and other exposed areas. And once you apply the sunscreen, the duration of protection is up to 2 hours. So if you're outside after 2 hours, you may have to apply the sunscreen once more. But if you're into some activity which involves increased sweating, like some exercise or some swimming, you may have to use a water-resistant type of sunscreen, and you will have to apply it more frequently also. Another query often asked by patients is the amount of sunscreen that has to be used. So the sunscreen has to be applied liberally, and the approximate amount for the face and neck application will be about 1/4 to 1/3 of a teaspoon of sunscreen. But if you're going for some activity like swimming, where you have to apply sunscreen on the whole body, then you have to use at least 2 tablespoons of sunscreen for covering the entire body. And remember always that you have to repeat the application after like 2 hours or so. And what is the type of sunscreen that is suitable for each skin type? For people with oily skin, a gel-based sunscreen will be better. Whereas a person who has normal or combination skin can use either gel or lotion type of sunscreen. People with dry skin can go for a sunscreen in cream formulation. For infants and older than 6 months of age and children who have sensitive skin, the sunscreen with physical blockers is recommended. And for children less than 6 months, it's better to cover them and keep them in shade rather than use of sunscreens. So, I've given a brief idea regarding the common skin conditions that are seen during summer and some tips regarding the use of sunscreens. If you have any more queries or if you have any other skin issues, you're welcome to visit our dermatology department at Ahalya Hospital, Hamdan Street, Abu Dhabi. We are at your service. Take care and stay safe.